My name is Sohail Patil. I have completed my Masters of Computer Application. I am a student of MI E-Securities for Prism course, and today I am going to present on Address Resolution Protocol. Let's start with our presentation, that is Address Resolution Protocol. The communication essentials needed for two hosts to communicate with each other are IP address and MAC address. IP address is a 32-bit binary address divided into 4 octets, that is 4 bytes. And here I consider IP address as a IPv4 version, not IPv6. MAC address here is in Ethernet 6-byte address. In token ring it is 2 or 6 bytes, and FDDI it is 2 or 6 bytes. So let's know how we can map an IP with a MAC address. Well, it can be done by a manual configuration within the two hosts, but it will be a very tedious job. Here ARP comes in handy and makes it automatic. Now let's see what an ARP protocol is. Where ARP finds MAC address from the known IP address. ARP map any network level address such as IP, then it may be IPv4 or IPv6 to its corresponding data link address such as Ethernet. In this case, it is a MAC address. It is not a data link layer protocol, but it supports a protocol in a data link layer. Let's see a scenario where an ARP protocol works within a LAN. Here, the host A has the MAC address MAC A and IP address 10.1.1.1, and host B has the MAC address MAC B 10.1.1.2. Here host A wants to communicate with host B, but it doesn't know the MAC address of host B. And initially ARP cache of both host A and host B is empty. So what it does is it sends a broadcast frame. Now this broadcast frame is sent on the LAN. All the machines or the hosts connected to the LAN accept this frame. They check for the target IP. If this frame is made for them, they accept it, otherwise they discard this frame. Now here the frame is made for host B. So this frame is accepted by host B. It has heard the broadcast and the request of host A that it wants the MAC address. So what it does is when it accepts the frame, it updates this ARP cache with MAC A maps to 10.1.1.1. After this, it gives the MAC address. It creates a frame. This frame is now a unicast frame. In this, it gives the MAC address back to host A. Now this frame is received by host A, and as soon as this frame is received, it updates its ARP cache with MAC B is to 10.1.1.2. To do this process, ARP uses two frames, that is ARP broadcast and ARP response, that is a unicast frame. Let's see what an ARP broadcast and ARP unicast frame is. Now here ARP broadcast considers a target MAC address. Here in this case it is a broadcast because host A doesn't know anything about host B, that is it doesn't know the MAC address of host B. So it is broadcast is having all F. This MAC address is not given to any network adapter because it is a broadcast address. I have just chosen the essential fields in this frame so that it makes it simple to understand. Here data, that is give MAC sent by the host A. Target IP here is the IP address of host B, and source IP is the IP address of host A. Source MAC is the MAC address of host A, and target MAC here in this case is broadcast because it doesn't know the MAC address of host B. As soon as this frame is received by host B, it is in ARP cache of host B is updated, and it creates another frame called ARP response, that is a unicast frame. In this frame, in data it gives that take MAC, and in target IP the IP address is of host B, host A, and source IP is the IP address of host B. Source MAC here in this case is MAC address of host B, and target MAC, now as it knows the MAC address of host A, in target MAC it keeps the MAC address of host A. To make these concepts very clear and simple, let's see a visualization of these protocols. Now in this case, host A needs the Ethernet address, that is MAC address of host B. So it broadcasts it. Initially both the ARP cache of host A and host B are empty. Now this frame is sent on LAN and it's received by all the hosts on the LAN. But they discard because this frame is meant for host B. As soon as this frame is received by host B, it hears the broadcast and it updates the ARP cache by MAC A to 10.1.1 and creates another frame giving him the MAC address. This frame is a unicast frame and is received by host A, and as soon as this frame is received, the ARP cache of host A is updated with MAC bit 10.1.1.2. Now, as this host A and host B both know each other's MAC address, they can communicate with each other. I hope you like this presentation. Thank you.